Revenue claimed that Joe Louis was paid, and what he did was with his money was his business.
To the outside world, Joe was a young black millionaire, but he was already in debt to Internal Revenue as well as to Mike Jacobs and John Roxborough. And there were marital problems. In spite of family photos with his beautiful Marva and their first child, Jackie, named for the beloved Jack Blackburn. On top of all this, his manager, Roxy Roxborough, was busted for running numbers in Detroit. But Joe was still an all-American hero, here introduced by actor, later Senator, George Murphy.
This is an official message from the War Department to all you men and women who turn out equipment for our Army and Navy. I want you to meet one of the greatest fighters of all time, Sergeant Joe Louis, heavyweight champion of the world. Sergeant Louis.
I wish I could talk face to face to all you folks who are working for the war. I got an interesting job in this Army. I go around to Army camp and give boxing exhibition. Then I talk to our soldiers about training. I've gone into some hard fights, but these soldiers are going into the toughest fight of all. They got to be good. Fighting is their job and they don't complain. Working is your job, so work hard.
Joe's assignment was to lift GI morale in a still segregated army. He told his black buddies that the common enemy was Adolf Hitler, who hated niggers as much as Jews. He also told his commanders he wouldn't appear before any Jim Crow audiences. If whites and blacks are fighting the same war, Joe asked, why can't their morale be lifted in the same place? On September 2nd, 1945, on the battleship Missouri, under the hard eye of General Douglas MacArthur, the Japanese threw in the towel. After all day, all night celebrations from coast to coast, after a well-deserved award for Joe, the Legion of Merit, now it was time for the rematch fans had been waiting 5 years for. Billy Cahn's second chance to take Joe's crown. Promoter Mike Jacobs raised his arms in a prayer of, "I smell money." So did Joe, now hundreds of thousands of dollars in the red. When co-manager Julian Black refused him an advance against his next purse, Joe said goodbye. He didn't need Black, but he did need a new trainer, Manny Seaman. Yankee Stadium was scaled to a $3 million gate, with ringsides going for an unprecedented $100 a pop. Everybody was there. Barney Baruch, Andre Gromyko, Tom Dewey, Jim Father, and a baby-faced Frank Sinatra. But unlike the 1941 Classic, Cahn was never really in this fight. Billy was slower now, and Joe had not lost his speed of hand and punching power.
The punch that won the fight last night was that right hand was crossed, and then that last punch that hit him was a good left hook.
Joe's need for fast money drove him to a match with Tammy Moriello, a dangerous puncher with an impressive string of knockouts, including a one-round KO of Lou Nova, who had stayed with Louis for 6. Joe was on a golden treadmill now. The more he earned, the more he owed.
Good evening, everyone, for the World Heavyweight Title.
The fight started slowly, but he warmed up in a hurry.
And out they go in the center of the ring. No blows yet. And Moriello staggers Lewis with a right cross to the head. Moriello fired a right and Lewis was staggered and almost went down. Moriello moves in with another right to the head. And Lewis staggers Moriello. Moriello's down on the left and a right to the jaw. 4, 5. Moriello is up at the counter side. He goes back to take more. Moriello goes in close. He gets away from the left. Then he takes a solid right to the jaw. A left and a right to the jaw. Left hook. Moriello sinks to the canvas in a neutral corner. Moriello is hurt just above.
Still scrambling for money, Joe embarked on an exhibition tour that included 10 rounds with Arturo Godoy, who had failed twice to take Joe's title. Joe was trying everything now, from opening a new restaurant and bar in the heart of Harlem to shilling for cigarettes he didn't smoke. With Uncle Sam really on his back now, Joe agreed to meet Jersey Joe Walcott, a 20-to-1 underdog. But Walcott didn't fight like one. He knocked Joe down not once, but twice, while the champion, who had admitted he was older and tireder, kept trying to catch the crafty and elusive challenger. At the end of 15 rounds, a disgusted Lewis tried to leave the ring without even waiting for the decision.
Judge Frank Forbes scores 6 rounds for Walcott, 1 round even, 8 rounds for Lewis. Referee Ruby Goldstein scores 7 rounds for Walcott, 2 rounds even, 6 rounds for Lewis. Judge Martin Monroe scores 9 rounds for Lewis, 6 rounds for Walcott. The winner by majority vote, and still the heavyweight champion of the world, Joe Louis.
For the first time in his career, Joe heard boos from the fans, and he was heartsick. The cheers were all for Jersey Joe, and Walcott's corner, convinced that he'd been jobbed out of an upset victory, filed an official protest with the New York State Athletic Commission.
The seconds told me to box, definitely box, stay away from him, and just coast on him because the fight was definitely won.
Eddie Egan, a one-time amateur heavyweight champion, spoke for the commission.
This commission has no desire to interfere with the exercise of discretion and judgment of competent appointed officials. Joe Louis has always been a true sportsman, and the New York Commission assumes he will give Joe Walcott another chance at the championship.
There was another chance for Walcott in Yankee Stadium 6 months later. Another sellout crowd. But this time, the fans were wondering if the old brown bomber wasn't over the hill.
Here's Louis getting away from the left jab, shot at a spin by Walcott. Walcott is drugged down by his side. Time running out in this round. Here's Louis, the left jab, and the spin, and Louis is down from the right cross to the chin. Walcott floored Louis, who got up without any count. Louis got up quickly. Here's Walcott driving a right to the chin. Again, Louis has been on the floor. Time is running out in this round. Louis shoots out a left jab. Walcott keeps moving from side to side. Takes 2 hard left jabs on the mouth by Louis. Louis found him with both of them. Then Walcott is back with a light left jab on the chin of Joe Louis. Louis coming in on Walcott again. Louis dancing it a little bit now, coming in faster. Blocking a left foot at his chin by Walcott. 1 minute to go in the round as Walcott speeds it up, shooting a left jab on the chin, and then taking a light left jab. He's trying to baffle Louis. He's moving from side to side. Comes in with a left jab on the chin, a right cross to the jaw, a left hook to the mouth by Walcott, another left hook on the chin by Jersey Joe Walcott. And that has brought the crowd up screaming. He really opened up that time. Louis takes a left hook to the chin, and Louis hits Walcott with a right to the jaw. Louis hit him with a right, drove another right, and Walcott is in trouble on the rope. Louis calls him with a right to the jaw, a left hook to the head. Walcott takes a right and a left to the body. Louis has him where he had him in round 9 before, and then Walcott fights back with a left and a right to the jaw. He misses the right, a left hook to the head. Louis fights him with a right and a left to the jaw, and Walcott is down. Walcott is down. We're trying to pick up the count. We can't hear the count. Walcott is trying to get up. He's on his knees. I don't know. 9. No, it is all over. Ah, Johnny, never fight Joe Louis twice.
The curtain opened up. When he got ready, he said he was going to do it. Walker tried to fight him, but the big man had too much.
Joe, when you knocked him down, did you think he'd get up?
No, man, I thought when I had him, I know that when he went down, he couldn't get up. I hit him with 4 or 5 very good punches.
I thought you hit him with my left hook, Joe.
Well, man, I hit him with my right, too.
Well?
Well, I'd like to say again that I retired. Tonight was my last fight. And thank you very much.
But Joe still drew crowds, even on the golf course.
I've been champion of the world for 11 years and 3 days. I defended my championship 25 times. I think I've been told to retire now.
You see old Joe Louis step down. Lord,
An aging Uncle Mike Jacobs was retiring too, ending the most significant partnership in boxing history. With Jacobs out of the picture and with the back